All right, so now I am recording. All right, and you're good to go here. I wanted to record this because somebody, asked me what I recorded. All right, so when you look around, most people are not getting the personal financial success. They think it's lifestyle. They think it's the kind of car you drive, the kind of house you live in, and that's not personal financial success. But see, it doesn't matter what you do for a living, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, school teacher, you're trying to do or accomplish two major things in your life financially, okay? So the two things that you're trying to do is, number one, you're trying to have income during your working year. So what you're doing is you're going out here and you're working your job and you work X amount of hours, right? And then they pay you X amount of dollars. Now, here's the problem. One of three things is going to happen to you. You're going to get too old to work, or decide you don't want to work, or the job will get rid of you. It's guaranteed one of those three things are going to happen. So now you have to have part B, which is a second source of income, that is income during your financial freedom years. Now, that's income that comes in over and over and over again, regardless to you working. Excuse me. So here's the problem. Most people do okay on part A, but part B, they're terrible, right? So they stop working, and then they don't have enough money to do all the things they want to do. And understand this about retirement. Because, see, I'm not talking about old age. I'm not talking about 65, 75 years old. Retirement is whenever you have enough money to do it, okay? So I fired my boss at 34 years old. So I had enough money to be able to do that. So it's not about if you're young and you're thinking, well, that's down the road. No, we're not talking about down the road. Retirement can be 2 or 3 years from now for you, okay? And let's change it from retirement and change it to financial freedom years instead of retirement years, all right? So let's look at this. Here's what happens. People are going to get their income from one of two places. They're going to get it from either a job or a business. But as you can see here, if you get it from the job, you're at a disadvantage. Because what's going to happen to you is taxes will come out of your check first and foremost before you even see your money, all right? In a business, you got a little bit better shot because you get all your money up front and decide what you're going to pay in taxes. So let's say you're making $75,000 a year. Now, the question you would have to ask yourself is, okay, if I stop working today or tomorrow or next week, where's the $75,000 a year going to come from? All right? Now, it's going to come from income-producing assets. Anything that you own that makes you money without you working. Now, here's the big problem. Most people have not anything that makes them money without them working. We spend all of our time turning our cash into trash or things that don't grow, okay? We spend it on food. We spend it on cars. We spend it on houses. We spend it on clothes. We spend it on cell phones, all this stuff that we buy, right? But none of those things really make us money, all right? So we have to eventually turn some of those dollars that we get from our working years or while we're working up top to putting them into income-producing assets, stocks, bonds, businesses, okay, things like that, things that can grow without you touching them, all right? Now, when you decided to join myEcon, and this is what's very important, you bought an income-producing asset. You bought something that has the ability to pay you even if you're not working. Now, early on, it's not going to work that way, okay? You're going to be working at this business to make it work. But then as you start to grow and it starts to mature and develop, then there's going to be money that will come in monthly that you don't have to go work for every single month, and that's very important. And understand, you need at least 10 times in income-producing assets, okay, if you're ever going to stop working, to make money. So here's what's got to happen. All right, somebody's texting me talking about we're waiting, and I'm sure that we're on the call here. Okay, yeah, we're on here. I don't know what's going on. So, all right. If anybody has Beverly's number, call Beverly and tell her we are on here. All right. Now, here's the thing. We have to have income-producing assets. All right. So if you had $750,000 in income-producing assets in value, and you got a 10% rate of return yearly, that's $75,000 a year. Okay. $75,000 a year. So what you must do is you must have that out there so you can get paid every month or every year without going to work. That's the same thing. So your business has a value of 10 times what it makes you in a year. So if you made $25,000 in myEcon, that's equivalent to having at least $250,000 in an investment account. Maybe as much as $500,000. Okay, let me tell you what I mean. If you owned a hotel and it made a profit of $200,000 a year, that hotel has a value. Okay, That means somebody would come in and evaluate that business to tell you what it's worth. Well, that business would be worth 10 to 20 times what it makes you. So you would have a $2 to $4 million asset in that hotel. So if you decided to sell the hotel, see, you don't sell the hotel for what it makes you in a year. You sell it for the future value of what it could do for whoever the buyer is. Okay? That's how businesses are evaluated. Okay? So that's a $2 to $4 million asset. Well, here's the problem. In myEcon, it's the same thing. Okay? And some people join our business, they don't see it that way because it's a physical building. They don't see all the inventory and all that. You have a virtual business that has value, and you can build a business that can change your life, okay? So I wanted to make sure you understood what you're trying to build. So one day, you're going to not work. You're going to have enough money coming in from an asset that pays you regardless of you working. That's personal financial success, okay? So I wanted to paint that picture first before we get started, because you got to understand why we're doing this. And when you look at most people, they don't get this. They don't understand that they need $750,000 to $1.5 million just to stop working and still have the same lifestyle. They don't understand that. So they don't go and build that, okay? So that's very, very important, okay? So now let's go ahead and get started with the rest of this. So let's start talking about this website, okay? Now, here's what you want to understand about our business. Our business, okay, is not what you see here under products, okay? See, sometimes people go to our website and they'll say, oh, well, you know, what businesses is myEcon in? Okay, so they'll click this and they'll go to these products here. They'll say, okay, well, this is what they do. No, this is not what we do. These are what you call ancillary products and services. Now, we do sell these products all the time, every day. I make thousands of dollars on these products, okay? But our main product is what you did, okay? You joined this business and bought the income shifting membership, all right? So that membership that you bought and the business combined is our flagship product. Let me show you something. Let me kind of take you to another place, all right? If you look at McDonald's, McDonald's is not in the hamburger, fry, and shake and Coke business, okay? Even though you see a lot of that moving through there. But really, they're in the real estate business. They're in the distribution business, because the more locations they have, the more they sell of the other things. So you got to look at that business model. And when you start looking at a company like Walmart, a Walmart is in the distribution business. They got a whole bunch of locations, and now they move things through those locations, and they make money. All right? When you look at CVS, same thing. Walgreens, same thing. Advanced Auto Parts, same thing. They're not in the auto parts business. They have thousands of locations that move auto parts. So now in business, it's more important how you sell your product than what your product actually is. Okay? So when you look at that, we sell the business, the whole model, the membership. And now what that does is it moves all these other products, because people will look out here and some of these products, number one, come with the membership. And number two, people can buy these products standalone outside of you. So you could have people buy identity theft protection from you. Okay? This is not included in your membership. It's $9 a month, but it is $1 million worth of protection. It's a very competitive product. And what you see here is we're building multiple streams of income from one muscle called the income shifting membership, all right? Because we're going to start making money on travel. We're going to start making money on the healthy coffees, the rent reporting, the roadside assistance, okay, the credit restoration program. So all these are different industries in their own right, but they allow us, okay, to build streams of income in all those different industries. So if you build your business, which is first and foremost adding people to the membership, putting people in personally yourself, helping other people to get themselves in, okay, or get their teams growing. So now your business, all right? So now, move this out of the way here. Let me go to the back office, all right? So here's the back office. So if I ever say, hey, go to your back office, I mean log in and go to the back office here and use your password. So this is a password protected area that no one else can get to but you unless they have your password, all right? Now there's trainings back here. There's a lot of things in here. Now you want to eventually watch this get started video, but you're not going to do it today. I'm going to cover some of the things that are in the Get Started video, but you may have questions, okay? So if you have questions as we go through this, write it down, all right? And we're going to cover a lot of things, and you want to be taking notes, and, you know, I'll answer every question before we're out of here. So we'll probably be talking for about an hour here today, or maybe even an hour 15, depending on how many questions y'all got. But it's very important to understand our business. Now, everything is in writing. This is our document center. I'm not going to cover that right now, but just about everything that we do in this company is right here in the document center, and it can be read. So don't ever, you know, say, well, I don't have, you know, somebody to train me. Well, if you are a self-starter, you can go right in here and read through our whole training manual if you wanted to. But my job is to help facilitate an environment that helps you grow, and I'm going to also do live trainings and all kinds of things to help you, okay? Now, let's get to the actual part I wanted to get to here. I don't want to do this. I want to open the here. This. So that's what I want. Right. So we call this the lightning start. And this is getting you off to a very, very, very fast start, okay? Now, this is what's important. This is not to replace the quick start orientation that's in the back office. This is kind of to enhance it or work alongside it, okay? Some of the steps that are here are also there, but this is kind of just gets you moving pretty good, pretty quick here. So here's what we want to do. You want to set up your login and password from the welcome email. If you have not already done that, you can do that sometime today, which means log into your website with your password. You got a 4-digit passcode. It's a temporary passcode, and you want to change it to something that you can remember. So that's kind of making sure you can get into your back office, all right? Number 2, you want to download both myEcon apps, okay? The Cash Flow Manager, okay, and the myEcon mobile app, okay? So if you go to you can do it right now while we're talking, or no, matter of fact, don't do it right now because it'll take your focus off the screen. But just kind of make a note. Go to the App Store and search for the word myEcon. Just one word, myEcon. Once you do this, 2 applications will pop up. One of them will say Cash Flow Manager. You want to download that Cash Flow Manager because that's how you keep track of all your tax record keeping. You want to download the myEcon mobile app because that is a way to kind of manage your business without the whole website feature suite, but it's something that you need, okay? And there's some training also in that. The tax training is also in that myEcon mobile app, all right? Now, what we want to do is we want to adjust the W-4. Now, why do we do that, okay? 80% of the people, there's 100 million plus people out here that have the W-4 filled out incorrectly in America. And what's happening to them is they're overpaying their taxes. And when you overpay your taxes, you got a cash flow shortfall. So what you need to do is you got to change that, baby, so you can get your money. Because they say that the average person would not have to file bankruptcy if they did not, if they had an extra $400, okay, in their budget. And most people are overpaying at least $250 to $300, and I've seen it as much as $700 and $800 a month, all right? So that's very important. So we're going to now go to the W-4. Now what I want you to do, I instructed everyone to get something to write with and a piece of paper. All right, and what to do is talk a little bit about the W-4. So I want to kind of dispel a couple of misnomers, but on your paper, what I want you to do is I want you to write A through H, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, okay? And then I also want you next to that to write 1 through 10, A through H, and 1 through 10, okay? The 1 through 10 is probably about 3 to 4 inches off to the right, and you're going to do these vertically on your paper. What we're going to do is go through this W-4 based on your scenario as I ask the questions, and you're going to write your numbers in there. Since you don't have a W-4 form in front of you, that's why I instructed you to write it on the paper. All right? Now, typically a person would have this form. If they work a job, then they have a W-4. All right? And what the W-4 does is it tells the job how much to withhold from your paycheck to send over to the IRS for federal taxes, all right? Now, like I said, most people have it filled out wrong. So let's look at the purpose of the W-4, okay? All right. So it says the purpose. Complete the Form W-4 so that your employer can withhold the correct amount of federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new W-4 each year and when your personal or financial situation changes. I know people that's been on the job 3 or 4 years and did not change this. They've been on the job 20 years, and they last time they saw this form was in the orientation. But then I know other people that change it every 5 minutes, and they don't even know what they're doing. So they do things like this. They say, well, I claim 0 for 6 months, and then I claim 9 for 6 months. Or, you know, all that kind of stuff. You hear people say, well, I don't want to owe, so I put 0. All that stuff is wrong, okay? That's not what you're supposed to be doing, all right? But now, here's what you want to understand. Let's make this a little bigger here. All right, it says, note that if you have too much tax withheld, you will receive a refund. See, we've been conditioned to think that a refund is good. No, the refund means you overpaid your taxes. See, people get excited. Woo, I got $5,000. No, that means you overpaid by $5,000. You could have had that extra $400+ or so in your paycheck, and you could have taken that and put it on your lifestyle, or you could have put it on debt, or you could have put it in your investment account. Okay, it makes more sense. And then it says, if you have too little tax withheld, you will owe taxes. So I know a lot of people, they get all nervous. They say, "Ooh, I don't want to owe." See, my thing is this. I don't want them to have none of my money. I want to control how much they're going to get. So we settle up at the end of the year when I file taxes. That's when we settle up. Okay? I don't be sitting around talking about, well, you know, I'm waiting on them to send me my money. Because I need my money to do what I want to do with it. Okay? That's just, I think, a good rule of thought. Okay? Now let's go down here to the worksheet. So now we're going to go through the A through H for you. It's very important. Okay? So I hope you've gotten it written down. So let's do this real quick. It says on line A, enter 1 for yourself. So everybody should have 1 on line A. All right. Now here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Have you ever heard people say, well, if you don't want to owe, put 0? See, that's wrong information. You got people doing this wrong down the road, and you got the blind leading the blind. If you have 0 on this form, your job will take out the maximum that they can take out and send it to the IRS. And this is why you have a cash flow shortfall. Okay? Now, it says in one of you file as married, filing jointly. So if you file your taxes together, okay, with your spouse, then you should have, if you're not married or you file separately, you shouldn't have anything here. All right? On line C, it says enter 1 if you will file as head of household. Now here's the problem with head of household. Most people have no clue on what head of household even means. All right? They think, well, I'm the man, so I'm the head of the house. That is not how that works in taxes. Now, it may work that way in your house in another way. I don't know. But for tax purposes, that is not how it works. People say, well, I make the most money. I'm head of the house. No, that's not how it works. So let's go and find out. How does it work? It's right here on the form, and we'll make it a little bigger here. It says head of household right here, line C. Generally, you may claim head of household filing status on your tax return only if you're unmarried, so you got to be single, and pay more than 50% of the cost of keeping up your home for yourself and a qualifying individual, which is a dependent. So what they're saying here is you must be unmarried and you must have a dependent. Those 2 things must be in place for you to say you file head of household. Okay? Most people misunderstand that. They don't understand how head of household works. So now just think about your situation. Okay? If you will be head of household, you put 1 on line C. If you will not be head of household, then you will not. All right? We're going to move on to D. All right. So it says if you're single or married filing separately and you have only 1 job, you're going to enter 1. Okay? So if that's you, single or married filing separately and have only 1 job, you're going to put 1 here. Okay? Now, it says if you're married filing jointly, but you only have 1 job and your spouse does not work, then you're going to have 1. So if that's you, you got 1 there. If you're married filing jointly, have only 1 job, so both people can't be working, okay, and your spouse does not work. You got 1 job and your spouse doesn't work, then you're going to have 1 here. All right, the third bullet point, your wages from your second job or your spouse's wages is less than $1,500 for the year, not for the month, for the year. Okay? So if these basically are your situation, then you're going to have one here. All right? If you fit one of these three criteria. So now, let's get down to the child tax credit. See, here's how people do this form most cases. Well, I got 2 kids. I put 2 on there and turn it in. Well, we got 2 kids. I take one, my wife take one, and we turn that in. Both of those are wrong. They're wrong. This form is not just about how many kids you have. It's about how many allowances you're claiming. And allowances also include dependents. So now, let's talk about child tax credit. So we got several bullet points here. Most people fit inside the first 1 or 2. Okay? So let's look at the first one. It says if your total income is going to be $71,201, that's if you're single, or $103,351 if you're married filing jointly, you're going to enter 4 for each eligible child. So now, let me give you an example here. You got 2 kids you're going to file on your taxes, okay? 15 and 12, all right? So those are both eligible for the child tax credit. They have to be under 18, okay? Now, here's what's going to happen. If you have 2 kids, 15 and 12, and you are a single person, you're going to have, and your income is less than $71,000, you would have 4 for each child, which is a total of 8. 8, okay? Let's say you had 1 child, okay? And boom, your income is under $71,000. You're going to have 4 for that child. Boom, 4, not 1. You see? You see how people got this form so upside down? Okay, if you're married filing jointly and your income is under $103,000, all right, got 2 kids, boom, you're in 4 for each child. So this right here is major because most people start picking up 2, 3, 4, 5 allowances that they didn't have before. And how this form works, the higher the number, the less amount of federal income tax coming out of your check, which means your net income goes up and you got more cash flow. Remember, myEcon is about increasing your cash flow. All right? Number 2, second bullet point. Let's say you're not in here. You're in the second one. Most people don't get beyond here. All right? It says if your total income will be $71,201 or 179. All right? So in between these, if you're single, then you're going to enter 2 for each child. Okay? Instead of 4. Now, if you're married, filing jointly, and you got $103,000 to $345,000 in income together, entering 2 for each child. Okay? Most people don't have $179,000 to $200,000 if you're single and 3, 4. So usually I don't have to go through these. But it says here enter 1, right? And it says here enter 0 if you're $400,000 or more total income for both of y'all. All right? So most people are going to pick up, you know, some stuff here on line 4. I mean on line E. All right? Now, let's go to F. All right? Other dependents. These if you have people that you're claiming on your taxes that are 18 and over. 18 and over. You're not getting a child tax credit, okay? But you are getting an other dependent. Okay, this could be a mother that's living with you, a brother that's living with you, or it could be older children that you're helping taking care of that you're going to claim on your taxes. Okay? So if you're single, $71,201 and your income is under that, then you're going to put 1 for that dependent. If you're married, filing joint, then it's $103,351, so you're going to get 1 for that dependent. All right? So that's how that works. Now, other credits, most people don't have anything here, so we'll leave that one blank. So we're going to add A through G up based on how you answered these questions. All right? So you should have, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. I don't know. We can come back and revisit this. Okay? Matter of fact, maybe I'll even open this up and just make sure everybody's okay here. So let me do that. Okay, I've got to stop this. And all right, let me. Okay, so everybody is unmuted. Matter of fact, so everybody is muted. But what I want you to do is, if you have a question about your particular W-4, unmute yourself by hitting *6 on your phone if you're on the phone, or if you're on the app on the computer. Then what you want to do is just hit the little unmute button. The little microphone is red. Just turn it to gray, and you'll be able to speak before I move forward. Anybody got a question about this W-4 real quick? And even if you don't have a question.
Hi, John.
Yes.
Hey, John, this is Glenn. I have a question about C.
Okay.
If you're single, what do you put?
Okay. On you say on C?
Yeah.
That's the head of household question.
Correct.
Okay. Are you claiming a dependent on your taxes?
I'm not.
Then you will not be putting 1. You put 0 there. You leave it blank or just put 0.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. No problem. All right. Okay. So now, I don't want to do that. I don't want this. Okay. So now we're going to get back in here. Let's get this thing back going. All right. So we're sharing again here. All right. So now, W4. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. Hopefully, you got some extra on that. Okay. Because remember, the higher your number, the less taxes come out of your check. So now, here's where your home-based business will go. And remember, 95% of the people in this country don't have a home-based business. All right? So let's talk about this. Now, on line 1, it says enter an estimate of your 2019 itemized deductions. These include qualifying mortgage interest, charitable contributions, state and local taxes up to $10,000. All right? Now, here's the thing. We don't know what if you're buying a home, all right, we don't know what your mortgage interest is going to be. Okay? You would know that. So I can't exercise that right now on this training. But here's what I want you to do. You can leave it blank for right now. And since you leave it blank, you can always come back. But what will happen is it'll either leave your thing the same or it'll add 1 allowance to it in most cases. So it'll save you more on taxes if you go back and put it sometimes, depending on your situation. So we're going to leave 1 blank. All right? Number 2, we're going to put your filing status. So it says, if you're married filing joint, you're going to put $24,400. If you're head of household, you're going to put $18,350 on line 2. If you are single or married filing separate, you're going to put $12,200 on line 2. Okay, so based on your scenario, $12,200 if you're single or filing separate, $18,350 if you're head of household, $24,400 if you are married filing joint. Now, on line 3, it says subtract line 2 from line 1. And if it's less than 0, enter 0. And in this scenario, it's going to be less than 0. So you're going to enter 0 on line 3. So line 1 is 0, line 2 is your filing status, and line 3 is 0. All right? But now, here's where myEcon comes in on line 4. You can enter an estimate of your 2019 adjustments to income. Okay? Very important. Adjustments to income can include your tax deductions for your business. So let me give you an example here. Okay, so I'm going to open up a calculator. Let me give you an Everybody on this phone most likely drives a car every single day. So on this line, we're going to put $4,200 on line 4. $4,200. Okay, just write that down on line 4. All right, now here's the thing. What that represents is saying that you're going to have at least $4,200 in tax deductions for your home-based business. And remember, employees cannot do this, what we're getting ready to talk about. So this is going to allow people to have more allowances, okay, than they normally would have, which gives you more money on your paycheck. Very important. So now let's look at this. Let's say you drive your car 18,000 miles a year, which is pretty easy to do. All right? Now, if you take 18, so we multiply that, 18,000 times 0.8, that's saying you're going to write off about 80% of the miles you drive that car, which is easy to do based on our training. I can show you how to do this. You determine what's business miles. Well, the law is going to give you about 58 cents a mile. So we multiply that. So that is an $8,352 tax deduction. Okay? Tax deductions save you money on taxes. Roughly every $10,000 will save you $3,000 in cash, real cash savings on taxes. Okay? So in this scenario, let's say you're in a 30% tax bracket. That saves you $2,505 on your taxes by just driving your car. So you're going to drive the car every day anyway, whether you don't have a business or not. But now because you joined business with us, most of your mileage can become business miles. Employees can't do this. See, this is why everybody needs to have a home-based business, especially one with myEcon, because we're going to teach them how this works. Because we have a whole tax curriculum, and then we have software to track all this, all right? Now, let's add your cell phone bill and internet bill for the year. That's $1,000. Let's add going out to eat for the year, okay? Because that can also be deductible meals. Now, let's add your travel. You're going on vacation once or twice a year, okay? Let's put $5,000 on that, airfare and hotel and all that stuff. Okay, you got $10,000. Actually, sorry, we had 8,000. Let me fix that. 8,000 plus 1,000 plus 2,000. I gotta clear all that out. 8,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,000. All right. All right. So we got $11,000 here. Now let's say you had 2 kids. So I'm gonna show you something. Say you had 2 kids. You can write off up to $12,000 per child as wages. Now, this is important. That's $24,000 in tax deductions right there. But let's say we cut that in half to 12. So we add 12,000 here. You have $23,000 in tax deductions for feeding, clothing, and taking care of your kids, doing all these things you're going to do anyway, paying your cell phone bill. All right. Let's put this. We got to put the travel on here. Okay. We got $23,000. Multiply this times 30%. You save close to $7,000 on your taxes. So what is that exercise all about? 4,200 is a low number here. That's a conservative number. Some people can have 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 here, but we're going to start with a low number because you got to also offset this by what you do and put into your cash flow manager app. Okay? The more you use the app, the more you save on taxes. Don't be one of these people talking about, I forgot to put it in my cash flow manager. That's horrible. That's horrible cash flow management. Okay? So on line 4, we got 4,200. On line 5, it says add lines together, but that's the same 4,200. Line 5 is 4,200. Line 6, enter an estimate of your 2019 non-wage income. Okay, such as dividends or interest. Most people ain't got none of this. Okay? So put 0 on line 6. On line 7, subtract line 6 from 5. Well, that's the same 4,200. So on line 7, you should have 4,200. Line 6, you should have 0. Line 5, you should have 4,200. Now, look what happens on line 8. You're going to divide the amount on line 7 by 4,200, which is we're basically dividing 4,200 into itself. So you've got 1. So on line 8, what your home-based business did is allow you to have 1 additional allowance. Sometimes it could be 2, maybe 3. But right now we're putting 1 because you got to get into the feel of this so you can start getting into the habit of using that cash flow manager. See, the more you use or try to build a home-based business, the more you're going to save on taxes on your job because all your taxes are done on 11040. Guys, this is major because you're going to pick up somewhere by this exercise total, maybe $200, $300, $500, $800 a month on your current paycheck. Very important. Okay, add on line 9. What did you have on line H? So whatever you had on line H, you put that on line 9 for the other column that we did. And then on line 10, we add them together. Okay, so for example, on line H, let's say you had 6. Now this is an example. This might not be your numbers. But let's say you had 6 on line H. Now you got 1 on line 8. So now you got 6 here. Okay, now you got a total of 7. That's how that would work. Now that's just an example. That's not your numbers. You got to go to what you had on line H, and then just understand you add 1 to that, and that's what's going to go on line 10. So most people picked up 3, 4, 5, 7, 12 allowances on this exercise. And some people think that the thing is, you know, you can only claim 10. That's not true. You can have up to 99 different allowances, folks. 99. And surely you don't have 99 children. So in this exercise, we've got 7. I've seen as much as 18. Okay? So we're done with the W-4, but what I'm going to do is open it up. You got a question, just unmute, and then I'm going to move on to the next part of this because we got to move. All right, perfect. Now, let's get back to the do. So now, you want to log your initial sign-up fee in your cash flow manager. Oh, if you're wondering where you can get this document, that's important. Get it here. Let me show you. All right, so on Facebook, you want to go to our Millionaire Society group, okay? The Millionaire Society group. So let me get to it. Looks like somebody just unmuted. If you're not trying to speak, then you should mute. We don't want to interrupt the other folks, all right? Okay, so now you go to the Millionaire Society group. You should already be in here as far as a member. If you're not, have your upline add you, okay? And just search Millionaire Society up top here, and you'll get to it if you're already a member, okay? Now you're here, because you can't just search this if you're not a member, all right? Now you go here, and we get to announcements, okay? Click on announcements. See all of them. And then you go right here, Lightning Start 3.0. Lightning Start 3.0. Click on that. It'll download this document that I'm covering today. So you have a copy of it yourself. So it's in the group. You can go get it from there, and you can download it so you got a copy. All right? Okay, cool. Now, let's keep moving. We got a lot of stuff to still hit. Now, you want to watch the Get Started videos. We're not doing that right now, but you want to watch those. Log into your website, set up your direct deposit. Now, this is important. Set up your direct deposit. Very easy. Let's go back here. You want to log into your back office. It's best to do this from your cell phone. All right? Best to do this from your cell phone. Here's why. Because you're going to take a picture of a couple of pieces of documentation, and it's easy to do that from a cell phone, not your computer. All right? So now you go to the back office, go to My Account. My Account. Boom. We're here. Now once we're here, you want to go over here to My Commission. And you want to fill out the W-9. Now, this is not the W-4. This is a W-9. Okay? It takes you about 2 minutes to do this. It's going to ask you, are you an LLC, a corporation, and all that stuff, and you're going to enter your social, right? You are most likely a sole proprietor. Okay? If you got to ask the question, are you a corporation or LLC, then you're a sole proprietor. You'll know if you're any of those other things. So you just go ahead, put that in there, sign it, date it, boom, less than 3 minutes, probably 2 minutes. Okay? And then the second thing you want to do is set up your direct deposit. Now in here, it's going to ask you to take a picture of your photo ID. We got to know that's you. The second thing you got to do is you have to input your banking information and take a picture of either a voided check, or if you don't have any checks, because a lot of people don't have a checkbook. Now I'm a little old school. I got one. I just like to write them sometimes. But let's say you don't have one. You want to take a picture or upload a direct deposit slip. You can get that from your bank. A lot of times you can find it right online. Just log into your online banking, and there's a direct deposit slip. You download that and upload it in the system. All right? So because we got to make sure all your stuff is right and matched. But if you don't have this done, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot issue you a commission. But you don't lose a commission. If you don't have this done and you're eligible for a commission, it's going to go into what is called commission holding. Okay? It's a little report, and it says holding. All right? So it'll be sitting there. You have 200, 300, 5. I had somebody that had $1,800 sitting in there. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? But as soon as you fill these things out, we will release it on the next commission. So we don't want to keep your money. You're not going to lose your money, but you must do these two things. So have those filled out as quick as you can. All right? But you don't lose anything. So let's go back to the document. Boom. We're back here. All right. Now this is what's important. Step 2, 10 to win. 10 to win, 10 to win. What does that mean? You want to enroll 10 people in your business. Okay? You want to get off to a great start. Okay? And you got to make a list. Now this is one of the most important parts to building this business. I see so many people that miss it right here because I say make a list and they start thinking, who do I think will be interested? That ain't what we said. Because you don't know who's going to be interested, guys. You don't know who's not. So what I would say is let them all see the information and find out what they do afterwards. Okay? Because the people we think are going to do it, not going to do it. The people that we think won't be interested end up being interested. So I say just show everybody. Okay? And you need to make a list. Like right now, let's start on that list. You got a piece of paper? Okay? Let's take 2 minutes and start on our list. All right, I want you to put 5 of your closest friends on that list right now. You can just put initials, okay, or whatever, or name, first name. Okay, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good friends. All right? Now, let's put 5 coworkers on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coworkers. Boom. So you got 10 people already. Let's put 5 people that go to church or whatever religious organization. Okay? 5 people that you went to school with and still talk to. 5 people from Facebook. So you can do this in groups of 5, groups of 10. But if you do it this way, you're not going to be judging people trying to figure out who's going to be interested. That's the most important part of this. Don't judge people. Just put them on. Now, here's why we say 50 at least. Now, some people be telling me, I don't know nobody. Well, wait a minute. You got 3,800 friends on Facebook, but you don't know anybody. You got 200 contacts in your phone, but you don't know anybody. Don't fall into that trap, folks. Don't fall into that trap. All right? Now, here's what's important. 50 or more is a good solid start to your list. Here's why. Everybody on that list is not going to join. Everybody on that list is not going to see a presentation. So the more people you have, the better the opportunity for you to grow your business. Okay? Because here's what's going to happen. Here's how it works. Out of every 10 people on your list, 1 person is going to sign up. So basically, just understand that 9 people are a no. Now here's why. Out of 10 people, 6 of them not even going to see the presentation. Because you're going to call them, they don't pick up the phone, they're busy, you're busy, you never connect with them, you leave a message, they don't call back, whatever, right? That's about 6 of them. But 4 that's left, so the 6 of that's basically a no because they didn't see anything. So now you got 4 left. Out of the 4 that see a presentation, 1 of them going to sign. 1 out of 4 people that see our business joins our business. So you got to understand that. Sometimes you might talk to 3 people, they say no, and you start saying, well, something wrong. No, ain't nothing wrong. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. It's basically asking, do you want ketchup on your hot dog? If they say no, so what? Keep moving. We're not here to convince people. We're not here to beg people. And please, please, please don't be saying, I'm just trying to get some people that need help. Sometimes people need help because they won't change. That's a problem. They need help because they won't change. And then you're going to show them this business, they ain't going to like it, they're not going to get in, and then you're going to be bent out of shape because you know they need it. Folks, don't let people's misgivings destroy your aptitude for this business. See, you need to be excited because you did something good. You started a business that can change your life, change your legacy. And if they don't come, so what? If your best friend don't come, so what? If your brother don't come, so what? I know he needed, he know he broke, but so what? You got to just keep moving. All you're doing is collecting a decision, And here's how we do it. You get some help. So you do 3-way phone calls. Do not try to talk to people on your own. And this is important, folks. See, we get out here, we do it wrong, and then it don't work out. Then we say, oh, well, something must be wrong with networking. No, there's nothing wrong with networking. I'm going to tell you something. I have recruited and trained thousands of people. I make every dime that I make in my life from this company, from this system. I don't do Uber. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I don't deliver papers, okay? I don't have a side hustle. I don't do real estate. I don't do anything but teach people this process. I know it works. They've been cutting me checks since 2005, okay? So networking is a skill that you can learn. It's just like pipe fitting. It's just like mechanic. Once you got it, and nobody can take it away, and nobody can ever fire you. That's what's important. I get up when I want to. I go to bed when I want to. Networking can provide freedom. You got to learn it, though. You got to be a student. I will teach you. We're going to work together. So I'm gonna do all the talking, or somebody qualified is going to do all the talking on a 3-way call for you. Let's talk about how you get paid real quick, okay? So everybody signs up. You want to become an EVP like yesterday. Yesterday. That means enroll 1 person in this business. Or that first person, that's a training sale. You make $5. Whoop-de-doo. You ain't getting rich. But here's what happens. Okay? You're in position to make money. You're in position. On that first person, you're going to get a 5% matching bonus on them forever. forever, forever, forever. So if they go out and make $20,000, $100,000, $1 million, whatever, you are going to get a matching bonus on them. But now, let's start building your team. That person is not your team. That first enrollee is not your team. But you want to get it out the way. It's training sale. Now, we start putting people into your team. Okay, the green, that's building your team. That's called building your base shop. So if I say build your base, that means everybody you enroll in your business after your first one. And hey, with me doing a presentation, I know I can close some folks for you. Me or somebody qualified helping answer questions, I know we can close people. We close people every day. Look at this. You make up to $75 a head. Now understand something. You're making 150%. Now here's how it works. The following week after you put somebody in, you get 100% commission. So that's going to be $50. So they came in for $50, and now you make $50. Okay, we cut paychecks every Friday. But now, if they continue on and pay their first month payment, we're going to give you another 50% commission, which is another $25. Now that's going to be $75 total dollars on every personal enrollment. Guys, that's huge. That's huge. There's other companies in this industry that'll charge people $500 just to get a $75 commission. We're talking about $50. Man, do you understand that that's cheap for what we have? Credit repair, tax training, a business, investment training, all that for just $50. It's a no-brainer. Only if a person says no to this, they're just being silly. They just don't understand. We've got the best business on the planet. Look at this. And now as we grow, you can have as many legs as you want to. This is 4 legs. The green is legs. So every time you put a new person in, that's a leg. Now, look at this. As they continue to grow, it's going to grow by up to $70. Because remember, you're going to get $45 up front down line here, because that's not a personal person. You're helping somebody else enroll one. And you're going to get a trailing $25 commission. Why wouldn't they pay their first month payment? The only way the person don't make their first month payment is if they don't have any money in their bank account or they took their card off the system. And if they go through our training like what we did today with the W-4, they should most likely have more money in their paycheck because of myEcon, so there's no reason to not pay the first month. And we automatically have a card on that system. So if people are paying the first month, something's going drastically wrong. Drastically wrong. Look at this. This thing just grows, y'all, to infinity. Your job is to grow this thing deep as you can. One, get 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 one. Some people not going to get one. Move on. Some people going to want to get 10. Work with them. That's all you can do, okay? But look, this thing will pay you $200, $500, $1,000 a week. Drive this base. See, if you make $3,000 a month right now on your job, okay, just use an example, this pay system can replace that inside 90 days if you get to work. And then you can decide, do you want to keep working or do you want to work this and grow? Because remember what happens here. This is one portion of our pay. You also got residual. See, when people stay active on the system, you're going to make money every month. See, this is like owning Netflix. You sign up for a person for the membership once. They only do that activity once, but they pay it monthly because they get something for it monthly, and they get paid every month. Well, now the same thing happens here. Guys, what if you had 500 people out here? Okay? That's at least $2,500. I know it's more than that. Okay? That's $3,500 a month. Okay? That's $3,500 a month without products and services. Okay? Without you building your base. You have $3,500 a month. See, let's go build 500 people. Let's go build, okay, 10 teams, okay, that got 50 people on them. Let's go build 20 teams that got 25 people on them. That's 500 folks. Go put 1,000 people in, you're making 6 figures. Residual. Guys, I promise you, this right here, less than $50. You walk in the room confident. When we talking to folks, you be confident. We got some good stuff for $50. We can easily sell this for $300 or $400. Okay? Now here's how this works. Okay? This is important. This is important. Don't miss. Don't miss. See, this is the flow chart. We got 2 more pages and we're gonna be done, guys. So here's the flow chart. You start off at the bottom at home. This is you. You made your list, right? See, work on that list. Continue to cultivate that list. Grow that list. Always add people to the list. Never remove people from the list. Even if they say no, that's no for today. No for right now. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, that might be late. That might be a different question, different answer. Okay? So now, want to get them to first base. Here's how we do it. Make a three-way call with your qualified upline person. Let's say I'm that person in this scenario. So what you're going to do is, me and you are going to get on the phone, and we're going to call Mary from your list. We're going to call Bill from your list together. You're going to listen to me talk to Mary. I'm going to tell Mary about the business for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to explain to Mary what we have. Here's why you don't want to do it yourself. Because now, you might call your person. See, your friends, your family members, they have a preconceived notion about you. They're judging you based on your past, not your present. They don't know anything that you've just started a business and you're learning something great. What they're going to say is, well, you work at the auto store, or you work at the, the factory. Okay, you don't know about finances. That's not your specialty. So they're not going to hear you with the right ears. Here's what I mean. If you have children, you see this all the time. You tried to tell them something, they didn't listen around the house, right? Then they went out in the world, somebody told them the same thing, the exact same information, and they came home like they never heard it before, talking to you about it. Because they listened to you with different ears, okay? Your friends, your family, they listen to you with different ears. You got to bring a professional. You got to bring somebody that all they can judge is the information. That's me. They only know about me what you tell them. And all you're going to tell them, hey, my friend's been teaching people about finances for 15 years, and he went out and fired his boss at 34, haven't had a job since then, and he's teaching me what he knows. Well, they'll automatically say, well, this person must be an expert. So they're going to listen to me differently than they listen to you. See? That's why you bring in the third party, all right? And we show you how to do that. We're going to get to that on the next page. Now, we're going to get them to the second base here. What we're trying to do is get them to see a presentation. You want 30 people to see a presentation quickly, quickly, quickly. Okay? We want to move through 30 people, quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right? So what I'm going to do is say, hey, Mary, we have a video. It's about 18 minutes. I would love to have you watch that video. It gives you all the details, and I would like to follow back up just to answer any questions. Is that okay? Mary says yes. So now we give Mary the 38kchallenge.com website. Boom. Now Mary, and I set a follow-up time because I told her I want to follow up. I say, if you're going to watch it now, I'm going to call you in an hour, Mary. We're going to call you back in an hour to answer questions. So I'm setting a follow-up time. This is why this is important. If you just give Mary the website, she feels she can watch it now. She can watch it next week. She can watch it next month. You didn't set a follow-up time. So now you're going to call back, and she hasn't watched the video yet. Well, now she's going to be like, oh, they bugging me about this video. But if you tell her, Mary, we're calling you back. If you're watching it now, we're calling you in 1 hour. Now she knows she needs to watch this because she's going to expect a call. See? So that just deals with all that little stuff all right there when you do it this way. So now, when we call back together. And here's what you do. You call the upline first. Call me first. Call your qualified person first. Then we call Mary. You don't want to call Mary even in step one. You don't want to call Mary and then say, hey, we're going to call John. Well, what is Mary going to say? Mary's going to be like, well, who in the heck is John? Why do we got to call John? Why don't you just tell me, girl? I've been knowing you 20 years, right? So now it's messing up the system because now you're not ready to explain. You're going to try to wing it. Then it's not going to go right. Then you're going to experience failure, and then you're going to think something is wrong with this business, and it's not. We recruit thousands of people every week. Thousands every week. There's nothing wrong with this business. This business recruit people every week, okay? So what you do is you have me on the phone first or your qualified person first. You call together, and now the qualified person, I'm going to show you how to flip that. Now we get a new person. So we follow up on step 3. We answer questions and find out what they want to do, okay? Some of you on this phone have went through that whole process. Now let's keep moving. Now this is the last page I'm going to do here, but this is important. Okay, because I said, I want to try to get through this at least because this is important. And this is why you want to download the document from the Millionaire Society so you can have it. Okay, step 1, text your prospect. Okay, it tells you exactly what to text to them. Don't start texting your link talking about check out my business. That's the worst thing you can do. Why? Because they don't know how to evaluate a business. If they knew how, they'd be in business. So no, do not send them a text talking about, look at my link. And then even when they go to that site does not do a good job at explaining what we do. It just kind of is a great site for transactions. The only time I send somebody to my website, the only time is when they told me they ready to sign up or they told me they were ready to buy a product. Outside of that, they will not see my site. The worst thing you can do is send them a thing talking about check out my website. No, no, no. They need to see a presentation in its totality. If they need to look at something, I want them seeing a full-blown presentation. I don't want them looking at my website, okay? Because they're going to make assumptions, and they're going to assume wrong. So now, step one. So let's say we talk about Mary again. You say, hey, Mary. You text them. I wanted to give you a quick call. Can I call you at 5 o'clock? I got a quick question. Because we do. We got a quick question for them. So if 5 o'clock don't work, hey, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever works for your time, okay? Now, sometimes the prospect is going to say something like this. Well, hey, I'm free right now, girl. Call me now. Well, you ain't ready right now. Don't try to call her. You got to flip it. Here's how you flip it. You say, well, I can't talk right now because I can't do it right now, but I will be free at X time. Does that work for you? See, you gotta set it up so you are ready and you bring all your ammo to the table. See, don't come to the gunfight with your knife. You got to come with me. You got to bring you a big gun. You got to come with your upline, a big gun, because we know how to talk about this. We know how to explain this. You can't do it when you're not ready. Okay? Now, here's what happens. When they say yes, they agree to a time. So now we got step two. Immediately text your upline or me or whoever's working with you. Text them and say, hey, we got to call at 5 o'clock. We got to call at 2 o'clock. We got to call at 3, whatever the time is, right? So now your upline can be ready. The qualified person, the professional can be ready. You don't want them to be in the middle of dinner and you call them and you tell them, okay, we got to call. That won't work too well, right? Now, step 3, at the confirmed time, call me first. Call the upline EVP first. Then you call the prospect together. Together. And then when you call the prospect, don't be on the other line talking, got the other person in the wings holding, and you talk about all kind of stuff, because see, I don't know what's happening on the other end. I don't know what you done said. I don't know what you're trying to say. And see, you need to merge the call immediately as soon as the person picks up the phone. And you want to immediately try to get out of the way. Because, see, you're on the job training right now. You're learning, right? You're learning. So what you do is you say something like this. You master step 4. These 2 sentences. This is the easy flip. Your friends ain't going to be mad because you had somebody on the phone. No, I done this thousands of times, y'all. Thousands. When the prospect picks up the phone, here's what you say. Hey, Mary, thanks for picking up. Hey, I was going over some amazing financial info with my friend, John. See, you said friend, because now I'm not a stranger. Okay, they'll trust me a little bit because you said I'm your friend. I was going over some amazing financial info with my friend, John, and I wanted to get your opinion. So now they feel important. They feel important. You need some help. They feel like they're coming to your rescue. But see, what we're doing is we really get ready to rescue them. Okay? Anybody that comes in this program, they're going to end up better if they just follow the system. So now, they're going to always say yes. They're going to always say yes. See? And then you flip it. Flip, flip, flip. Here's the flip. Awesome. I have John on the line because he's better at explaining it. Hey, John, are you there? Your person going to say, okay, and we're going to move on. And then I jump into the conversation, and I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 minutes. Hey, my name is John. Thank you for taking some time. Hey, this is what we do. I've been teaching Mary, or I've been teaching Sally how to do this, 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 and this. And we've helped thousands of people all over the country. Mary, do you like more information about what we do? Mary's going to say yes. Okay? So when Mary says yes, now we're back here. So when she says yes, I'm getting her to step 2. Boom. Hey, Mary, I got an 18-minute video. I would love for you to watch it. It's going to give you all the details as to how our plan works. Do you have access to the internet, Mary? Mary's going to say yes. All right, Mary, when do you think you might have about 18 minutes to take a look? Hey, I can do that right now. Well, great. What me and Mike would like to do is we want to give you a call back in about an hour or 45 minutes, whatever, and we want to answer any questions that you might have about our program and make sure you got a complete understanding. Is that okay, Mary? Mary's going to say yes. So we set a follow-up appointment. Bam. Now, 45 minutes, an hour later, me and you call her back. Boom. Three-way call. Mary, what'd you like about that information? Did you get a chance to watch that video? Mary's going to say, oh, yeah, I watched the video, right? Instead of asking Mary, what did she like? Because, see, that can go anywhere. That's too open-ended. I mean, not what she liked, but what she thinks. Instead of talking about what you think, I'm going to say, what do you like? Because I want her to only talk about what she liked. I don't care about what she didn't like. So now we're in the closing process. And here's the important part of closing. You got to just sit back and let the professional work. Don't try to do a whole bunch of talking. Just let me work. See, closing is a rhythm. It's about timing. I'm trying to close. Don't be jumping into conversation. Oh, and girl, this was this. No, just let the professional work. I promise you I'll close folks for you. You might mess around and say the wrong thing, and then mess up the closing process. I promise you something. Anybody that follows this and works with me and my team on this, you grow. You look up. You have 50 people. You have 100 people. Run this thing relentless. You have 1,000. 1,000 people make you a millionaire. You make a 6 figures residual, whether you get up out of bed or not. See? I want to know who wants to be the next Infinity. Infinity is 300 people. CEO Infinity is 1,000. But you got to make Infinity first. Okay? See? This thing is changing folks' lives. Now, I got some other stuff I can show, but for the sake of time, I'm going to cut it here. But, guys, it's important. It's imperative. Run a system. Okay? Now, we got a few things here on step 3. Okay, you can log on to your social media, put this out there, see if you can get some hits, see if anybody started talking about they want some information on this, okay? Just put this as your status, all right? Then you want to attend your live trainings, okay? We have trainings every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, so that's about 7 p.m. West Coast time, all right? Okay, complete a debt elimination form, okay? Build your cash flow, your financial plan, okay? Get your list up to 100 folks. Anywhere in the country, guys. Anywhere in the country. Anywhere in the country. They don't got to be in your city. They ain't got to be in your town or even your state. Anywhere in the country. They got to be in the United States or U.S. territory. Okay? So, I'm going to open the line up here. And we can chat and talk a little bit. All right, let me stop this. All right. See, I'm going to see how noisy. Okay, it doesn't sound noisy. All right, everybody, anybody got a question for me about the startup training or anything today?
Good morning,
I must be a real bang-up job where I put everybody to sleep. Which one is it?
Oh, well, we're here.
Is there any way to access this PowerPoint at a later time?
What I just showed you? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, who am I speaking with?
This is Cedric.
Cedric. Okay. Are you a member of the Millionaire Society group online?
No.
On Facebook. Who's your upline?
Cortez Springer.
Okay, Cortez Springer. Okay, Cortez can add you to the thing here. Here's what he wants to do. You want because Cortez is already a member, and obviously you can only add a member to this group if they're your friend already. Okay, so you should be connected with Cortez online. So tell Cortez to add you to the Millionaire Society. Okay, and once he adds you to the Millionaire Society, you can write this down. Just go to the announcement, and right there it'll say something called Lightning Start. Okay, that's the document that I went over. Lightning Start. And
Okay.
once you do that, all right, you'll be able to download that document right from there.
Okay, great.
All right, good question. All right, any other questions before we go?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a question as far as when you did about the tax deduction showing the 1,800 travel 1,800, and then don't you really do that by the time
I can hardly hear you. Hold on, because we got a lot of background here. Go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. No, what I was asking about, the tax deduction, like you drive 18,000, miles usually annually.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you usually use 18,000 times, let's say it's 50 cents a mile times 50 cents a mile, and you deduct whatever your tax deduction, you get 20% from that amount, and that's what you say in tax deduction, because you did a little differently. And I was like wondering, well, how did you do that?
Okay, well, what I did is I put 18,000, miles,
Right.
and then we took 80% of those miles as business miles. So that gave us about 14,400 or something like that. And then this year, you get 58 cents per mile as a tax
Right.
deduction.
But what I'm asking, you can do it 1,800 times 50 cent a mile or 58 cent a mile.
Okay, what I do 1,800. I did 18,000 times 80%.
Right, 18,000. That's what I mean. 18,000.
18,000, and I multiply that times 80% to write off 80% of the miles.
Okay, but I'm saying, but when they really look at it, isn't 18,000 times 58 cent a mile and whatever your tax, whatever tax?
No, it's because they're not writing off all 100%. Okay, they would have 18,000 total miles, but business miles and total miles are two different things. So
okay,
if we took 80% of the total miles, that gives us 14,400 business miles, and business miles are what qualify for the tax deduction. Does that make sense?
right. I got you now. All right.
Right.
I just thought it was okay. I got it. So it's 18,000. Yeah. So you drive 80% of that. I got you, and then that would be whatever that is times whatever the tax bracket is.
That's correct.
Okay, so you'd do basically 14,000 times 58%, and that'd tell you how much money you'd get in tax deduction and cash back.
Correct. That's correct.
Right. Okay, I got you.
All right.
I got you. All right. Let me see. Do I have any other questions?
All right. Anybody else got a question for me before we go? All right. Well, hey, thanks, guys.
You did a great job.
Let's get some commission checks. Remember, whatever you do right now up until Friday will count for your next commission check. So if you put 10 in between now and Friday, the following Friday, you'll be paid on those 10s. All right? So, hey, let's rock and roll. I'll talk to you soon.
I got a person I want to call this morning. I don't know. Try to text her, see if respond yesterday. Check that. Oh, last thing. Are you still there?
Hello, he's gone, so we all need to hang up. Everybody have a blessed day.